Good morning, Glories, and welcome to WGAL, the radiophonic voice of Cedar Ridge, Arkansas. This is Hazel Hunt speaking. I've just come on the air and I'm wondering if anyone is listening. How about you, Mr. Hitchcock? Have you slopped your hogs yet? And you, Miss Peach, poor thing. How's your irregularity? Remember what the psalmist says, heaviness may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Doc Gump, I know you're listening. Check in on Miss Peach, will you? And by the way, I am simply wild about your new paling fence. Am I coming through loud and clear, dear hearts? Ring me up on the royal telephone and tell me if I am. That's Katie Did 23, and I certainly hope you'll enjoy the program. Well, I declare it seems as though we have visitors. Come in, lambs. It isn't my hazelnuts. Morning, Glories.
Good morning, Hazel.
My hazelnuts. I'd like you to meet 'em. Here's Miss Asley and Miss Maybelle Swindle, trusty and true, fellow sisters of Pythias, and dedicated baseball fans. How about those Cedar Ridge Yellowhammers, girls? Woo! And looky, here's Renabelle in America. How are we this morning, girls?
Fresh as daisies. Not me. Spent all Sunday making mayonnaise.
Oh, come on. It was fun.
That fancy new sauce I've been reading so much about, what will they think of next?
Well, it's the latest thing. We ended up with gallons of the stuff.
What are we gonna do with all that goo?
Why, make Waldorf salad, tubs of it.
Hazel, you're a Solomon.
Poppycock. Has anybody seen Gladys?
She stopped by the post office.
She'll be along directly.
Flirting with the mailman again. When is she gonna come down from her pink balloon? My hazelnuts. Well, almost all of them. Life's been peaches since we've been together.
Why, there hasn't been a silent night in Cedar Ridge for months.
And with the help of God and my Western Electric 500-watt radio transmitter, there won't ever be.
This is
WGA
in Cedar Ridge, Arkansas.
What do you say, girls? Shall we give it a whirl?
Bugs are buzzing, breeze is blowing, Fido's barking, let's get going. Glory, sunrise melody, dee-dee-dee. Glory, sunrise melody, melody, melody.
Mama's busy scrambling eggs for everyone. Hear that fiddle playing. Come on, boys, let's have some fun.
What's that music in the trees? Is it birdies? Is it geese? Glory, sunrise melody, dee-dee-dee. Glory, sunrise melody, melody, melody.
If that didn't wake you up, I don't know what will. And of course, the Cedar Ridge Community Choir. Morning, Glories. The choir will be joining us later in the program. Hello? WGAL? Mr. Hitchcock? Say what? We're fading out and you're picking up the Paragould Farm Report. Drat. Clear channels are as scarce as hen's teeth these days. Dear hearts, we're taking it to the right today. Everyone be sure and follow. One full turn. That should do nicely. How's this, Mr. Hitchcock?
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
He says we're coming in clear as a bell. Is your brood sow feeling better? Oh, he says Petunia perks up every time she hears America sing. Oh, Ezra, you old wag. I have a feeling Mr. Hitchcock perks up too.
Well, I'll sing him something.
Oh, goody.
I'd like to dedicate this song to my cousin Dorcas. She's starting a new county job today, and she's going to be a crop duster.
Get out your helmet and goggles, Cedar Ridge. We're taking you all for a ride.
Some gals like to bob their hair and gals with bathtub chin, but I just crank my chenny up and take her for a spin. Those flappers out there, silken hose and flake will sit and spellers. Just tie me up with kerosene and bring me up the Oh, let me be up in the air, flying, 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 away up in the sunny, sunny blue. Can't you hear my little engine humming, humming, humming? Aviator's love song just for you. Yodelay, 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 yodelay.
Knock up out there!
Some gals like to foxtrot and two-step till they're bleeding, but me, I draw a on the wing at 7,000 feet. They say the sky's the limit, but if I take a notion, one day I might just slip across the great Atlantic Ocean. Oh, let me be up in the air, flying, 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 away up in the sunny, sunny blue. Can't you hear my little engines humming, humming, humming? Aviator's love song just for you. Yodelay, 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 yodelay. Yodelay, 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 yodelay.
Merciful heavens! That was so much fun, I feel downright dizzy. Now, don't forget, dear hearts, Doc May and his musical goats will be appearing up at Lake Kitchicoo Lodge this Saturday. It's one night only, so get your tickets early, because y'all know how popular those musical goats are.
Hello, my darlings.
If it isn't Miss Gladys Fritz, voice of the lowlands. Morning, Glory.
Good morning, Gladys.
Sorry I'm late. I was reading the postmaster's poem. He has the nicest hands.
Gladys is our resident travel hostess, gourmand, and seer. We refer to her affectionately as Swami G. Oh, Mystic One, where will you be taking us later this morning?
Darkest Africa. Did you bring the sandwiches? May we?
What kind?
Cream cheese and olives for you girls. Stewed prunes for me.
Mr. Agnew.
Oh dear, indigestion again. Well, I got just the thing. Hunts or Allen compound. Are you troubled by dyspepsia, flatulence, or agues? One bottle of Hunt's amazing elixir of Whorehound, and may of its ailments will cease. Hazelnuts.
Whorehound compound, it's the latest stuff. Stronger than medicine, cleaner than snuff. Secret herbs and jungle juices, good for about 1,000 uses. Whorehound compound, it's the stuff.
From an old family recipe handed down by Grandpa Hunt. It's almost 10 years since he crossed the swelling tide. How time marches on, I'll be picking a washtub full of lilacs to put on his grave next Sunday.
Thank you, Mr. Agnew.
Hazel, would you look at these letters?
Oh, goody. It's time for listeners' mail.
Here's one from Magnolia. Eureka Springs.
This one's all the way from Arkadelphia. We'd be ever so grateful for a souvenir photograph of Hazel Hunt, signed the Hutchinsons, Railroad 3.
Yeah, what would a body want with such foolishness? I believe I've got an extra around here somewhere.
Hattie Jean Mountain, Calico Rock, Taval's Bluff. Such faraway places. Hazel, we're like a beacon beaming over that mighty ocean of the ether, that wondrous radiophonic, bearing up his essence to the very tide and planets and stars of all creation.
She's talking about air, dear hearts.
Uh-oh. This one's from old Mr. Couch over at WBTM in Paragould. Miss Hunt, yesterday, during our farm news program, I suddenly and distinctly heard the raucous tones of your orchestra. Again, you leave me no alternative but to complain to the authorities. Hazel, this sounds serious.
Oh, I'm not afraid of old Mr. Couch. I'll send him over a case of whorehound. That'll salve his wounds.
I wish I had something for mine. I passed the most troublesome eve, the strangest dreams. Sheiks in sports cars, blind salesmen on motorcycles.
Men again? You've been watching too many moving pictures, honey. You know how susceptible you are. America, fetch the Gazette. Dear hearts, it's time to consult the sign. Love the turban.
Made it from a Vogue pattern.
She looks stunning, doesn't she, girls?
You do. It's a miracle of rouge pot and face powder.
How now, Swami G?
If stars could talk, imagine what they'd say about the secrets of the Milky Way. Do you think they complain because they have too low? There's nothing that the stars don't know. I'm poring over the celestial realms, and the heavens shall reveal enchantments. Dare you list to the mystic cipher? We're all ears. Let's see. Monday the 18th, Sagittarius. You have a flair for the dramatic. Do you really think so? You do. You will soon take a trip and feel the wind on your wings.
Can I come?
Silly girl. Look at this one. Beware of a tall, dark stranger bearing love songs. He will steer your heart away.
Not much chance of all that around here.
Oh, Hazel, I'm all a Twitter.
Steady, honey. You got a full day of broadcasting ahead of you. Hark! Goodness, what could that be?
It's a man!
A man? Somebody fetch the smelling salts. Honey, are you all right? Probably just another tenor wanting to audition.
I'll bet he sings I Love You Truly.
Don't they all?
Is he tall, dark, and handsome?
Well, he's breathing. He's awful serious looking.
Could be a revenue officer. Go outside and throw a quilt over the still. Dear hearts, it seems as though we have a visitor.
Hazel Hunt?
Speaking.
On behalf of the name, I have some important business to discuss with you.
I know, your career. Do come in. These are my assistants, America and Renabelle, and this is my associate, Gladys Fritz.
Are you a tenor?
Shush, honey.
Is she okay?
She'll be all right. She's just a little excitable, that's all. Oh, and these are my dearest and oldest friends, Miss Maybelle and Miss Adsley.
Haven't we met before?
It's a wide world. A body could get confused. Just give your music to Miss Ruth. She can sight read anything.
Sight read? But
Oh, well, that's all right. Neither does Miss Adsley. Poor thing, can't read a gnome. She's still a local favorite, though. Wait till you hear her sing. Get out your handkerchief, Cedar Ridge. Miss Adsley's gonna sing one of her heart songs.
you're on the air right now.
Whatever, whenever, however. That's our motto. she's had a pretty hard time of it, Mr. Abbott. No one ever said it would be a crystal staircase, dear. Now, about your problem here, let me take a look at your repertoire.
I don't have a repertoire. I'm from the Department of Commerce. Radio Division, 5th District to be exact. I'm here to observe your broadcasting procedures.
Broadcasting procedures? Why, we'd be honored, wouldn't we, girls?
If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
By all means, Mr. Abbott. My life is an open book. Mind you, just don't dog-ear the pages.
First of all, how did you ever become a radio broadcaster?
Well, I've been teaching music here in Cedar Ridge since I was younger than America.
Hazel won the UTERP Medal of Honor 30 years running.
All the world and all its baubles. But my arthritis got so bad 2 years ago I had to call it quits.
The whole town was sick about it. We all got together and threw Hazel the nicest retirement party.
Every snaggletooth kid in town was there, not to mention all the civic organizations,
The Lions.
The Elks.
the Loyal Order of the Horned Larks.
The mayor made the floweriest speech.
Hazel Hunt, he said, you've been an inspiration to the youth of Cedar Ridge. Now go forth and gussy up all of Central Arkansas.
And then the boys wheeled up this great big crate.
Yeah, and at first Hazel thought it was an electric washing machine.
Oh, that's right, I did. When the boys got out the crowbars and pried that thing open, there she was, a brand new Western Electric 500-watt radio transmitter.
It was love at first sight.
Sometimes I wish it had been an electric washing machine. Just the two of us in a box of Oxidol. But that's all water down the drain now.
Well, at least it looks like it's up to code.
Oh, it's up to code. The mayor gave us a license. I've got it framed.
It's signed by the Secretary of Commerce himself.
Mr. Herbert Hoover,
You know him?
he's my boss.
What's he really like?
Do tell the dear hearts, Mr. Abbott.
Well, I've never really spent a lot of time around him. He's a very busy man. But he promised to have me and the boys over for a game of Pinochle next month.
You don't say.
Now, Miss Hunt, exactly how did you acquire your radio orchestra?
Well, I couldn't very well broadcast on my own, so I put out an SOS for talent, and guess who showed up?
We did.
All my star pupils.
The entire local chapter of the Sisters of Matthias.
And what a tub full of talent it was. Why, I couldn't do without my hazelnuts. Redabelle's my head, America's my heart, Miss Maybelle and Miss Adderley and Miss Ruth are my hands, and Gladys is my... I digress, Mr. Abbott. Suffice it to say that every radio station worth its salt needs a masked soprano.
Oh, Hazel.
So I guess you could say that's how the hazelnuts were cracked. And there's not a walnut in the bunch.
Miss Hunt, if it wouldn't discommode you, I'd like to see your books.
Funny you should mention it. I've just got a brand new leather-bound set of Fenimore Cooper.
No, I mean your radio logs.
Radio log. We've got a scrapbook. You're welcome to see it. America, be a lamb.
Does it contain all your air dates and running times?
No, it's mostly snapshots and recipes and things. Got all the big stars when they come through Little Rock. Well, my goodness.
What's that?
Rainabelle, here's that snapshot you took of Mr. Gershwin.
That's George Gershwin?
It's just the side of his head. It's a little blurry. I was nervous when I took it.
You know him?
Oh, yeah.
Last fall, Mr. Gershwin held a concert at the Masonic Temple in Pine Bluff. Rainabelle here was the hospitality committee.
I fix the sandwiches. She's never gotten over it.
It took Mr. Gershwin a while to.
He was a finicky eater.
Renabelle even wrote a song about it.
Hush, America.
Wait till you hear her sing.
But my investigation.
She's the volunteer fire department's favorite.
Dear Mr. Gershwin, you may not remember me, the girl from hospitality. I helped you order your lunch, Mr. Gershwin. Did I turn your head when I said, oh, what kind of bread would you like? On your ham and cheese, would you like white? You said you might like rye, so I said, why? Then you said, why not? What can I say? But I've got wheat, Mr. Gershwin, sweet, Mr. Gershwin. Wheat is all I've got for you. Dear Mr. Gershwin, right after dinner, you looked even thinner. touched a single bite. So meet Mr. Gershwin, upbeat Mr. Gershwin. Beats are very good for Dear Mr. Gershwin, I saw you this evening as you were leaving. Your suit was a masterpiece when you were stepping into your limousine. I threw a tangerine. I thought you needed fruit. Why were you staring out into space? That look on your face was ever so odd to me. Was it hunger or grief, or just plain relief? Mr. Gershwin, what did you see on Megan in Paris? A flying saucer or a prettier girl than me? Dear Mr. Gershwin and me.
So you can see, Mr. Abbott, we here at WGAL appreciate all kinds of music, even the modern variety. Of course, nothing compares to the immortal masters like Bach, Beethoven,
And don't forget the Reverend Everhart.
Who's he?
Gladys's spiritual master.
A kindly old gent, an odd fellow.
And one of the states' most beloved composers. Why, everyone's familiar with the tranquil boxwood. Oft times in evening's dismal gloom, I gaze far from my cloistered room and see beyond the worlds above my tranquil boxwood in its top. Behold, you beauteous shrub.
Spooky. Now,
How fondly I recall the old bungalow on State Street, the many pleasant afternoons I'd spent with the Reverend under the chanaberry tree. I remember one spring afternoon in particular. We'd been weeding the marigolds when the Reverend's eyes lit up with an otherworldly light. "Gladys, my child," he said to me, "I've had a vision." Then he dropped his trowel, gazed heavenward, and sang note for note this next song. Surely, Mr. Abbott, you can recall these immortal strains. There are fairies in my mother's flower garden. I saw them through my window pane last night. They were dancing on the leaves and giggling in their sleeves. And as they It's a true story. Of course, it wasn't really a silver ship of moonbeams. It was a copperhead Ford with a gut and muffler. And the fairies were the strangest creatures. They had gold teeth, and they forced the Reverend to drink spirits and escorted him to the American Legion hut, where they disgruntled his hat, disconcerted his bow tie, and strongly encouraged him to do an Apache dance. I'm afraid the Reverend was never quite the same after that.
Can you imagine? A man of Reverend Everhart's dignity and bearing? What's the world coming to?
You've certainly got a point there, sister. It's not the same old candy store it used to be. Fairies, eh? Sounds like gypsies to me.
Gypsies! Play, gypsies, play, make the music fast. Play, gypsies, play.
Or worse, anarchists!
In Cedar Ridge?
You can't be too sure about anyone anymore. I'm reminded of that case up in Chicago. A couple of blue-stocking suffragettes operating out of the 2-bit radio station. They had an upright piano and a pump organ. Their big hit was the Tennessee Tickle, maybe you've heard?
No.
Trouble was, in between regs, they were channel jumping and pumping the ether full of free-thinking propaganda. You got an attic?
Why, of course.
It's where Miss Gladys meditates.
Meditates?
The attic, I find, is particularly permeated with the electromagnetic vibrations of divine will.
Divine will, eh?
It can move mountains. It can change the course of our destinies. Why, divine will has even brought you to Cedar Ridge. It's a lovely attic. Would you care to see?
Maybe a little later. Right now I need to get down to brass tacks and I'll be frank about it.
By all means, Mr. Abbott, we here at WGAL insist upon honesty.
Well, as a matter of fact, my department has received a number of complaints about your radio station.
Complaints?
Workmen have been receiving your signal in a tunnel under Hudson's River outside New York City.
Did you hear that, Cedar Ridge?
And a lady in Santa Barbara, California, picked up your call letters in her frying pan while she was stirring beans.
Beans? Do tell.
What wavelength are you on, anyway?
Wavelength.
What's that?
Your engineer should know.
We don't have an engineer.
Mr. Hitchcock comes over once a week and goes over everything with sewing machine oil.
Hitchcock, eh? Is he certified?
He's a pig farmer.
I'm afraid that wouldn't cut much mustard with the review board.
Mr. Abbott, there is absolutely no need to bellow.
Mr. Abbott, would you care for some coffee? Or perhaps a cream cheese and olive sandwich?
We could put some mayonnaise on that.
No, thanks. What's this stuff?
Whorehound compound.
Banana crackers.
An old family recipe kept Grandpa Hunt from freezing during the Great War for Southern independence.
Tastes like gin to me. Oh.
Abbott, the radio station has to run on more than Delco batteries. Hazelnuts.
Whorehound compound, good for all your needs. Brightens your attitude, gets rid of weeds. Goes down easy, never scorches. Takes the paint off chairs and porches. Whorehound compound, it's the stuff.
That's right. Just 20 cents. Come on down by the house and pick up a bottle today.
Miss Hunt, this is bald-faced hucksterism.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
There's a constitutional amendment prohibiting the production and
Mr.
sale of...
Abbott, would you mind terribly if the Swami took a look at your hand?
The Swami?
She's got a correspondence course.
Observe his girdle of Venus.
Not bad. What about his order of Apollo?
It's huge. Mr. Abbott, you may possess a gift for music.
Me?
What? It's Hazel's theory that everyone has talent.
Even government people.
Well, I did do some singing back home in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis? Herbs no Beelies.
A city slicker.
I can tell by his shoes.
Do tell the dear hearts what's like in the city, Mr. Abbott.
Oh, why, it's mighty exciting. There's department picture shows and miles of cement sidewalks.
They got electric streetcars where you come from?
3 of them.
Boy, would I love to ride an elevated train to go to the Follies.
City life must be grand. So much culture to absorb.
I went to a dog home for a week once.
Yeah, well, it's not all champagne and roses. Sometimes I just sit around in my penthouse, of course, and the lonesomest feelings steal across my bosom. There's something deep down inside that I'm longing to say. But who is to care?
I do.
Why don't you sing us something?
Right here, right now?
Nobody comes into Hazel Hunt's parlor without a song.
Ladies, it's pure foolishness.
Foolishness? To sing? Why, it's one of the most beautiful and eloquent things a human being is capable of.
Pluck the rose of inspiration grown in the field above. Quench it with the dew of kindness and the vase of truth and love.
Emily Dickinson.
No, black springs.
Woodman, spare that tree. Touch not a single bough. In youth it sheltered me, and I'll protect it now.
Great Scott, man, get on with it. Running a radio station, not a bookshop.
Say, do you know a fireside, a pipe in a pen, E flat, not too fast?
I love it. I love it.
These things give me the shivers.
Mike, right? It happens to the best of us. Just pretend it's a floor lamp. You'll be fine.
I've knocked around every little town, trying to make a dime. I've lived in the city, the gals are pretty. I've had me a mighty good time. But now I'm older and feeling bolder. So I know I'd really be sad if I had me a place, some wide open space, a fireside, a pipe and a bed, with a pouch of tobacco and a man named Jackie sleeping at my feet. Woof! A picture of mother, is there any other whose smile is half as sweet? With a pouch of tobacco and a man named Jackie sleeping at my feet. Woof! A picture of mother, is there any other whose smile is half as sweet? Life would be the berry if my dream came true. Like a great big ball carried, the dreaming of so love aloud in what I love, but I haven't found it yet, and it won't be complete till I met with my sweet, a fireside, a pipe and a bed, a fireside, a pipe and a bed.
I hope all your dreams come true, Mr. Abbott.
Why, thank you, Miss Fritz.
You can call me Gladys. Did you observe his flatted third? Why, it's bold, it's incendiary. It's exactly what Reverend Eberhart called the blue note. Mr. Abbott, you're a born radio star.
Radio star indeed. These days everybody wants to get into the act.
Miss Hunt, if you're implying that I came here to audition, you are sadly mistaken. I take my work very seriously.
I find his petulance irresistible. Hazel, could we put him in the next number?
I can't see why not. I've got a little time to fill. America, fetch me my duffel bag. First a voice lesson. Stand Great. Suck in here. Poochie out there. Now bear down. That should do nicely. Just jump in after you've gotten the hang of a course or two.
Hazel, we're right up on the hour.
I guess we'll just give her the old college try. Where are we traveling, Swami G?
The Belgian Congo. Picture, if you will, a tangled path leading us through the cool, dark fern of the jungle.
Hark! Do you hear?
It's the drums of the ancient pygmy people.
Suddenly, from out of the gloom like a shot, there's a burst of light.
Is it a foxfire?
Is it a comet?
Is it Tarzan?
No! It's Edna Jones, the elephant girl.
Swinging through the trees of DVDs. Who's she?
It's Edna Jones. She's the elephant girl.
Living in the tropics is the topic of Miss Edna Jones.
She's the elephant girl.
She grew weary of washing dishes, packed her bags and followed her fondest wishes. Now she's in a bundle in the deep, dark jungle. Edna Jones, she's the elephant girl. Ribbit, 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 yeah, ribbit, 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 ribbit. Living in rat huts and eating nuts takes guts. Oh, Edna Jones, she's the elephant girl. Here is clear, it might be queer, but not for Edna Jones. She's the elephant girl. She always wanted to live off the land and be the leader of a swinging dance band. A herd of gazelles ringing little bells, a bunch of baboons on the slower tunes, an old anteater and a couple of mosquitoes trading off licks with the little big dicks. To the end, she's a friend of the animals. To the end, she's a friend of the animals. Late at night, you'll find her peeling a banana, thinking of her boyfriend back in Texarkana. He'll be hanging in just like a garden. Poor Edna Jones, she's the elephant star of the show. Is Edna, you know? Edna Jones, she's the elephant playing the flute while the elephants toot. Edna Jones, she's the elephant. Every night at 11 is music made in heaven. She's the elephant girl. She's the elephant girl.
Hello? WGAL? Miss Peach? No, we haven't all lost our minds. She said she's getting interference from the Little Rock Amateur Hour. Dear hearts, I guess we're taking it to the left. Everyone be sure and follow. 1.5 full turns. That should knock us all the way to Tulsa. How's this, Miss Peach?
Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Clear as a bell.
What in Sam Hill do you think you're doing?
I'll thank you not to talk that way in my parlor, Mr. Abbott.
I'm not standing idly by while you make a mockery of broadcasting codes.
I'll explain everything if you'll just calm down. I'm forever getting interference from the other stations. So I merely ease around the band until I find an empty space. Otherwise, I'd never be heard.
You can't change channels like there was ladies' hats. Why, that's wave jumping. You're all air pirates. You're gypsies of the ether.
Gypsies! Play, gypsies, play, make the music fast. Play, gypsies, play.
Cedar is another Shangri-La, and you're the Lotus Eaters.
You love Tennyson too?
What in tarnation do you think you're doing?
I'm revoking your license.
Unhand that document, young man. Why, the very thought. Ether is free. You can't put bars on the air.
And you can't wander all over the broadcasting band. You could be prosecuted.
You mean a women's prison?
I'm afraid it's curtains for you ladies. I'm reporting you to the Department of Commerce.
Mr. Abbott, how could you?
If you won't let me telephone, I'll just go down to the Western Union.
I beseech you, don't close the station down. You have no idea what it means to Cedar Ridge, to us, to me.
Sorry, pretty lady. I'll make sure you get time off for your good behavior.
Wait, Mr. Abbott, I'm coming with you.
Gladys, what on earth?
I've heard the call of the wild and I'm about to answer.
Gladys, you're not a flapper. You're a grown woman. Why, you're vice president of the Sisters of Matthias.
Not anymore. I've met my destiny, and his name is O.B. The stars don't lie.
She's off or not.
They're cranking out on his motorcycle.
Gladys is crawling on behind. Too late now.
They're struggling, but she's got it in a dead grip.
And they're off.
Gladys would chase a moonbeam down a rain pipe.
What are you gonna do, Hazel?
We're still on here. I certainly hope you're enjoying the program. Don't fret, dear hearts. We'll bring Gladys back. But don't touch that dial. We've got a story to tell you.
On a lonely beach in Panama, a shipwrecked captain sat, hungry and faint, with no one to hear his plaint, as he swatted off the flies with his hat. He was thinking of his only daughter. Would he ever see her again? Back in Boston it was Christmas, but he stranded on his admiss with nothing but an old tin can. Then he happened on a small piece of crystal and within an inch of his life, with a little bit of cable he had taken from the gable of the lighthouse where he once had a wife. Spare him your sympathy, my brethren. Take heed from his story and be strong. For our captain, he was tireless on that carburetor wireless, and from far across the foam, he heard us song. Painting the ether straight up to the sky. Each time you haven't thought I haven't to, that's why.
You're never alone when someone knows your heart. Close communication, though we're many miles apart. Painting the ether straight up to the stars. Maybe they can pick us up on Mercury and Mars. And a little piece of quartz. You'll be hearing music, not to mention youth and sports. Don't you fret, dear.
Lost and fishing in the sky.
Cast your net, dear.
You could catch a little bit.
Falling lightly, beaming through the ether brightly.
Now!
Play, Disney, play, make the music fast. Play, Disney, play, let's forget the past. What care we for sorrow? We'll go rowing tomorrow. So strike up a tarantella and play, gypsies, play. Strike up a tarantella and play, gypsies.
Damn the torpedoes, I'm coming, Gladys!
Always leaving, always sending, never sleeping, never ending close communication. Gee, though we're many miles apart, so play, gypsies, play.